Everybody, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing a video today about something I haven't spoken about in a long time, and I'm going to start probably doing more of these types of videos because I'm trying to get back into this whole subject that I've been kind of neglecting for a long time. I think part of the reason was because I was so sucked into the political games and all the things with regards to the pandemic over the past year. And you're called this if you believe this or say this, or you called this if you do this or say this. It's like, and I got so sick of that whole game people were playing that I lost sight of the fact that I was trying to in the beginning of last year, I was trying to really change things in regards to certain aspects of my life again, because I suffered a huge crisis at the beginning of last year, and crisis was actually end of last year, like December, and things got worse, and then some things were revealed that were really terrible, unfortunately for me, which I'm not going to go into in this video. But anyways, enough negativity. I'm going to talk about manifestation, and primarily about your own beliefs about it, and why you can trip yourself up and not even realize that you have these limiting beliefs that are stopping you from getting what you want in your life. And I realized that today, it's like reading all this self-help or manifestation stuff or Neville Goddard. It's like, well, a lot of times there's things blocking us from doing these things because you don't even realize all the times in the day where you're thinking of a limiting belief. And basically, as a realist, if you're a realistic, pragmatic person, that's where your mind's going to go. First of all, you're going to go to, well, oh, what about this? What about that? And that's what makes it really hard to get to where you want to go in your life or with whatever you're looking to do. And that's one of the problems with manifesting in my life has been. So some of these loops and these internal loops, I think it's probably best to figure them out before you even, sometimes it's best to figure them out before you even try to do any kind of magical acts or thoughts, because when you're having these things going around your head all the time, these loops, they're gonna be part of that reality that you are, as far as you try to think about the thing that you want, but it's also going to be based on your current experiences in many ways. And that's why we don't get what we want, because we are caught in these loops, and we have to be aware of them, be conscious of them, and try to make new loops. And that, a lot of that's thought stoppage, or flipping the script on yourself and stuff like that. But just realizing that what you're doing is basically, like, when you do actually look at these things, even being conscious of it is better than nothing. And that's kind of the first step. I remember 10 years ago, I wrote this, I used to have these notebooks because I used to have this job, a long time ago, that I basically was not working, was not taking calls for hours at a time. So I got a lot of time to write out all this stuff, and I would write out these things, and I call it the column method, but it's like you write out your limiting belief and you give a counter example. It's these two columns that you write. I think I've talked about that in an earlier video last year. And at least when you are figuring this stuff out, that you are doing these things. That makes it a lot better. Bringing it to the conscious fore of your mind, I think it's the best thing. And I realized lately that I've been having a hard time doing that more often than previously, because before I was more conscious of what I was doing, but I became more unconscious lately, and I was just getting these negative thought loops and patterns and traps. And it's easier to get caught in that. And that's kind of like been the challenge, to believe again, as far as all these things go. Because there's so many limiting things in your life that you don't even know. Well, you're like, well, what's going to happen with that? How is that going to lead? How is that going to help with this situation? Aren't they going to do this because of that? And it becomes such a burden that you just stop believing and manifesting anything. Another problem, I think, with manifesting, though, is that since it is a lot of times based on your current experience, projected upon your future experience, the level of what you manifest is so low that you start believing that you can't manifest bigger things or better things, and you think it's just coincidence, because it's like, oh well, yeah, well, I was on all the dating apps for 2 months straight, like 3 hours a day. Of course I would meet someone, it's like you find these excuses and stuff. But what if you were on the dating apps for like a year and you had nothing, and then you got into manifesting and you had this? How do you explain that? And obviously you have to take action a lot of the time, but it's like, you have to look at these things in this type of way. So I think one of the best ways to, stop yourself from these negative thought loops is to try to be conscious of them first. And that's kind of the whole point of trying to clear these things out and try to make room for the positivity and the positive aspects that you're trying to live for your life, or look for in your life. So that it's like preparing something, like you clean your house to have people over, and you have to clean these negative things out of your mind. And I'm actually going to do another video about this, because I think I've found something about visualization. I've been experimenting with some of this, and I think in the next few weeks I'm going to try to experiment with this. And I know I did my 25 days of Neville Goddard thing, or of revision. I messed up on that, and I apologize to anybody that watched that. I found out that was one of my most watched videos, like in the last year or so, or year plus. So I'm kind of disappointed in myself for not following through on that. And then I said I was going to do 50 days, and I got like 3 days in. So that's another thing. Maybe I'm going to look into that, and I can be kind of a guinea pig for a lot of this stuff, and I'll do more videos about it as I do more stuff. I'm certainly no expert. I'm certainly no Joseph Ally or Roxy or whoever. These basically manifestation gurus, or Agnes Vivarelli. Those are my three favorite, by the way, as you probably already know from my previous videos. I also like Joseph Rodriguez and Brian Scott as well. I like them a lot too. I would recommend all 5 of those people. But that's about all.